We learned last October that Paul Ryan had been involved in a call where he was pretty critical of then candidate Donald Trump. Understand this is at a time when it didn't seem super likely that Trump would become president. Now, at the time, we didn't know all of the details, but now we do because as of today, Breitbart has leaked the audio tape in what one of their former spokespeople is calling a continuing campaign to damage Paul Ryan, and that is understandable. You're going to agree, perhaps, after listening to this tape.
There are basically two things that I want to make really clear. As for myself as your speaker, I am not going to defend Donald Trump. Not now, not in the future. As you probably heard, I just invited him from my first congressional district GOP event this weekend, a thing I do every year. And I'm not going to be campaigning with him over the next 30 days. Look, you guys know I have real concerns with our nominee. I hope you appreciate that I'm doing what I think is best for you, the members, not what's best for me. And so I want to do what's best for our members, and I think that this is the right thing to do. I'm going to focus my time on campaigning for House Republicans. To everyone on this call, this is going to be a turbulent month. Many of you on this call are facing tough re-elections. Some of you are not. But with respect to Donald Trump, I would encourage you to do what you think is best and do what you feel you need to do. Personally, you need to decide what's best for you. And you all know what's best for you where you are. But the last thing I want to do is to help Hillary Clinton get the presidency and get Congress. So the last thing we want to be doing is giving Hillary Clinton a blank check in Congress. That's why I'm going to spend the rest of this month fighting for Congress, fighting for our majorities. I'm going to spend the next 28 days working hard with all of our members to get reelected because we need a check on Hillary Clinton if Donald Trump and Mike Pence don't win the presidency. But I want to basically close with this. His comments are indefensible. They're not in keeping with our principles. So I'm not going to try to defend him. I'm going to focus on Congress.
Wow.
That's not a man who thought that Trump was going to be president.
So I'm not saying wow at Paul Ryan's reaction to the Access Hollywood tapes. That was fairly normal at the time, as John pointed out. I'm saying wow that this got released at this juncture. So whoever released this, and we have a pretty good idea who, we'll get into that in a second, just wanted to shiv Paul Ryan in the biggest way when he is most vulnerable. So there's dissension within the Republican Party about Ryan's healthcare proposal, and releasing this tape now saying he never stood by Donald Trump is going up to him as he's going to the showers in the prison and go and letting him bleed out. So I haven't seen this kind of over-the-top political attack maybe ever within the same party in my lifetime. So when you then look at the heart of the Breitbart article, which released this tape, it says over and over again how Ryan, quote, abandoned the now president in the final crucial weeks leading up to the all-important general election. And Ryan's decision to abandon Trump on the campaign trail has become a focal point in the healthcare negotiations. No, it hasn't. What are you talking about? You're the one who brought it up.
They mean we're trying to make it a focal point in negotiations.
And so, and I'm telling you, I'm just giving you a tiny taste of it. All throughout this very long article, it's Ryan, the betrayer of our beloved leader, Donald Trump. Oh my God. It is somebody in the White House. Obviously, we think it's Steve Bannon because he used to run Breitbart. He even did a purge of the people who disagreed with him before he left. So all he has is yes men left at Breitbart. But I actually think that one of the quotes makes me think it's not just Steve Bannon, that it might even be Trump himself. So one source, unnamed source in the White House said this quote within the article: the president gave Ryan a chance. Listen to how much this sounds like Donald Trump. The president gave Ryan a chance. If he doesn't get his act together soon, the president will have no choice but to step in and fix this on his own. He's the best negotiator on the planet, and if this were his bill and not Ryan's, it would not be this much of a mess. That's Trump.
Well, yeah, and we know that Trump has a history of telling a reporter, you can quote me off the record as an associate of Donald Trump himself. We know that that's happened in the past.
When he used the aliases of John Bannon, et cetera, he would often be his own unnamed source.
That's right. Yeah. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But my question would be on this is, if this was leaked by the White House, what does the White House want?
Exactly.
They want just a better bill?
Maybe they want Ryan scrambling, maybe getting Ryan to do something more favorable towards Trump. I honestly don't know.
No. The reason why I think there's some chance that it's Trump himself is because it's poorly thought out. Because it's such a mess. You look at this and go, how the hell does this help the Republicans? Right? That's why everybody's confused by it. Because normally you would do a strategy like, okay, I'm going to undercut Paul Ryan because he's too moderate, and I'm going to go in a more conservative. Okay, that's understandable, right? Now, in this case, they're saying, that Ryan, and he better withdraw that bill before he knows what's coming to him. But you publicly backed Ryan's bill. So you're throwing yourself under a bus. It's the typical incompetence that you would see from Donald Trump because he's lashing out. Because why? He's got ADD, as everybody talks about. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, right, I'm good, I'm with you, good, go, right? Oh, no, it's not going well. Oh, I wouldn't have done this. You're the mess. It's your fault. And what does he do? Like a child, he always blames someone else. Yeah. And this is one giant blaming someone else. It's so poorly thought out. I'm not even sure it's Steve Bannon. I'm telling you, it might be just the big guy himself. Yeah. So they do like these cutesy things. Sorry, John, one quick second. They say Ryan has been unwilling to negotiate on the specifics of this bill. This is all, again, from the article, obviously like typed over and sent to Breitbart, right, by the White House. And they keep Trump and his true allies, despite what Ryan's allies inside the White House say publicly, have been much more willing to negotiate. Trump's trying to send a message. And then he labels it Obamacare 2.0, Obamacare Light, Ryan Care, Rhino Care. All of a sudden it's Ryan Care. Before everybody was calling it Trump Care. Now that it's going under, Ryan Care on me.
So this is supposed to, that's from Breitbart, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not an editorial, that's their news reporting. Yeah. God, they suck. They want to be a reputable news organization. I can't read that because it's spinning so fast.
Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right, John. The other thing that I got out of this article is this read like an old Soviet press release, or not even a press release, but like what they would print in Pravda.
True allies and loyalists, and
that's
very focused on loyalty.
The allies of the cause say this, whereas some have betrayed the cause. Yeah, and it's so over the top. You're like, who could believe this?
It's just not clear what he wants. Well, other than to not be embarrassed. He doesn't want to be tied to a bill that is a disaster, but it's not clear what he, policy-wise, what he or the White House actually wants. Like, this is your bill.
Well, he said he had a couple of goals he laid out, getting prices, quote, way down. Everybody's covered. Deductibles are lower. He specifically said deductibles will be lower. But then when the actual bill comes out and he's totally hands off. I heard he was a great negotiator. I don't see any negotiating. They're not really talking about the bill unless they're specifically asked in a press briefing. Trump is talking very little about it, although he has tweeted a couple of basically references to the next steps will be better. But where is he during all of this?
Okay, so I don't like to speculate too much without any basic facts, but this seems like a fact-free vacuum now. This healthcare debate.
We have so little facts here. We don't even have time for alternatives.
Right, exactly. But I wonder if Trump's strategy. I'm throwing it out there. I wonder if his strategy is Ryan will propose and the Republicans will push a detailed bill that is a disaster or not a disaster, looking like it's a disaster. And my negotiating position will be to do one little piece of it, like the state lines thing, deregulate across state lines, let insurance companies sell across state lines, and then I will eventually sign on to that relatively little piece, preserve the rest of Obamacare, but say that because we took that one piece and passed it, that is a, quote, repeal of Obamacare. I mean, there's got to be an exit strategy for Trump out of this, right? I mean, there's got to be, in theory, some exit strategy to this rather than just throwing 26 million people off healthcare.
Yeah. So I have two kind of answers to your questions, right? And to your theory. So part one is people are always trying to figure out what Trump thinks. Remember, Trump doesn't know what he thinks. Like the one common mistake that everybody makes over and over again is they underestimate how stupid he is. So he never had a plan. And in this article, you can see it thrashing about wildly. Like, oh, conservative groups are upset. There's these Tea Party patriots that are upset. And the conservative groups, and plus it won't pass the Senate because of the moderate Republicans. Well, how can you cure both of those things at the same time? Either you go right, in which case the right wing is happy, but those moderate Republicans will never vote for it and it has no chance of passage. And you keep talking about how the arithmetic doesn't add up in the Senate, or you make the moderate Republicans, such as they are, happy, And then the Heritage Foundation and the Tea Party Patriots will hate you even more. But so how do you answer that? The answer is Trump doesn't know. He doesn't know the difference between the Tea Party guys and the moderate guys, and he's never thought it through, and he thinks that there are always magic answers. Oh, yeah, of course, we'll make it for everybody, and it'll be lower, and it'll cover. Why won't it cover?
It'll be beautiful.
It'll be beautiful. He's an impetuous child. He's like, why can't I have everything? Why can't I cover everything? It's Paul Ryan's fault. It's his fault. If I had done it, again, here's another reference here to Trump is a lot more willing to wheel and deal on this front than Ryan. It's Trump who wrote this thing, okay?
Wheel and deal.
So, who writes also, wheel and deal? And that's not a quote from anybody. That's in the article.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. They suck. Jesus. Yeah. And look, he's also a guy who, I don't know him, but everybody says that he's willing to throw his allies under the bus. He likes to stick the shiv in. He thinks, at the end of the day, what's important is what makes him look good and makes him look successful. He may actually think that he can torpedo Ryan, torpedo this current effort, make Ryan look terrible, that whole thing goes down in flames, not realizing that as president, he's not independent of his party in Congress. If he wants the rest of his agenda to be worked on, having the first huge thing you work on totally sink, totally fail, hurts him too, but he's such a self-centered person that he may not realize that that's even how it functions.
I don't understand what the exit strategy is.
So I'm going to explain the Republican exit strategy in a second, because in the midst of this article, through the madness, I think I figured out what their actual plan is, and Ted Cruz has it. Trump doesn't have it, Ryan doesn't have it, Ted Cruz has it. So, but to all your guys' point, the Trump is short-sighted, and so he just thinks, how do I win the moment now?
Yeah.
The only thing that matters
is totally in the present.
Yeah, in this media minute, how do I win this media minute?
Yeah.
I'm losing terribly. This is a mess. I'm not winning anymore. So what am I going to do? First thing is blame it on someone else. That's go-to move number one. Then I'll figure out things after that, right? And it's too conservative, and it's too liberal. You're not winning, not me. Okay, all right, we've talked about that. Now the exit strategy. So in the midst of this, they explain that Ted Cruz thinks, well, we don't need 60 votes. The Democrats are going to filibuster this thing, like we filibustered everything when the Democrats were in charge. The Democrats needed 60 votes for Obamacare, but we don't need it, and we can do reconciliation. Now, that it only applies to just budgetary issues. They cannot use it for most of the bill. Now, how is he going to get around it? He says, oh, I came up with a new idea. The vice president has constitutional authority to just pass things with 50 votes. What? That's not a thing that exists. But they're Republicans. They don't care. So the idea that I think that Cruz and the conservatives are hatching is, hey guys, make the bill even more conservative. Go in the direction that, and there's one reference in this long article about you didn't understand how to do it the Trump way. That Ryan never understood the Trump way. I think the Trump way that they're referring to is just go full bore right. Don't worry about any of the moderates or Democrats or anything like that. Just go get all the right-wing Republicans you can. We'll just change the rules so that Mike Pence has some magical constitutional authority to get rid of Senate rules, and he could be the parliamentarian that decides how to apply the rules, including reconciliation, and we'll just say it applies to the whole bill, and he just magically does that. That way we only need 50 votes. I could even lose Susan Collins and another moderate Republican. If I hold my conservatives, boom, we pass it. So that is probably, honestly, their best hope. But that is a precedent. Yeah, that is a tiny, you got to thread that needle pretty hard to get into there.
And then he thinks, if he's thinking ahead at all, that having lots of people lose their health care under his bill or Ryan Care or Trump, whatever you want to call it, that'll help him in the election?
See, again, not thinking that far.
He's just not thinking that far. That's way too far.
Yeah, and by the way, that Cruz idea, it's not like it's Trump's idea, right? Trump doesn't know what the hell he's doing. The conservatives are pushing in that direction. They think we can get it done. And for the guys at the Heritage Foundation and the Koch brothers and all those donors, to them, yeah, the 26 million losing their health insurance, or actually under the new draconian plan, it'll probably be 30 million or more. It's like, wait, are they my donors? Are they my voters? Yeah. Are they my family? No, then why would I care? The Trump way is, I don't give a damn about you, right? I only care about myself. That's it, that's the Trump way. So we can convince Trump to go hard right and jam this thing through and damn the torpedoes.
Are you sick of the mainstream media? Then I got good news for you. We're going to hire some investigative reporters and we're going to go house. We're actually going to investigate what's happening in this country and stand up for you guys. Help us do it. Go to tytnetwork.com/go. If everybody watching this video just gives a little bit of money, we'd have plenty to hire those investigative teams and unleash them on the country.